Now, the fifth in our series of Centennial videos, Peace and International Understanding.
From the beginning, Lions address needs in their community. But soon they reached beyond their own backyards. Lions in Houston raised money for Belgian orphans in 1919. And Lions in New Jersey shipped food to starving Armenians in the early 1920s. As Lions clubs expanded, they made a greater impact by joining together.
Lions International have been called on to be world statesmen.
Since its founding, Lions have dedicated themselves to building peace and international understanding across borders and generations. In 1926, Lions established an emergency relief fund to respond quickly to crises anywhere in the world. The Qingdao Lions Club used the fund to aid the people in China when the Yangtze River flooded in the 1930s, leaving millions homeless.
The country's in the grip of misery and famine, helpless in the face of this great calamity.
Tianjin's club president wrote Lions International president and expressed gratitude for the generous donation toward our flood relief work. In the early 1940s, Lions in Ontario and Quebec raised money for children orphaned by war through their British Child War Victims Fund and its Mary Pickford Project. Pickford, an Oscar-winning Canadian silent film star, donated $5,000 from the sale of her Toronto home to kick off the Lions fundraiser. Lions raised $103,000 to provide homes for the children. At the 1943 International Convention, Lions passed a resolution calling for a new international peacekeeping body, the necessity of assuring permanent world peace.
To San Francisco came 1,400 representatives from 46 nations.
In 1945, Lions leaders were among representatives who met to help establish the non-governmental organization section of the United Nations. And they threw their full support behind the new organization, calling upon clubs to support it as well. Lions Clubs International underscored its commitment to a certain and lasting peace for the world in 1946, when International President Pierce delivered greetings to the Paris Peace Conference, which officially marked the end of World War II.
When they left, I says, there goes our Lions International statesmen working for world peace.
The first Secretary General of the United Nations, Trygve Lie, thanked Lions for their good wishes for the successful outcome for the whole work of the United Nations. In 1947, the United Nations granted Lions consultative status with the UN Economic and Social Council. Also in 1947, U.S. Lions joined Americans across the nation in supporting the Friendship Train, which picked up food to help feed hungry people in France and Italy. When Texans learned that the Friendship Train wasn't stopping in their state, they organized additional trains to gather food. Melvin Jones called on Texas Lions. They mobilized the relief efforts in the Lone Star State, delivering 46 boxcars filled with food and $10,000 in donations. Lions also partnered with CARE, the Committee for American Relief Everywhere. Clubs in the U.S. and Canada raised millions of dollars for hungry, homeless, and displaced people. In the late 1940s, Lions in Europe began encouraging international friendship and joint service. Twinning began with clubs in Switzerland and Sweden, then spread throughout Europe, Asia, and North America. Lions continued to forge international understanding and bridge political divides when Filipino lions reached out to Japan, a former occupier.
敵国であった恨みがあるフィリピンのマニラライオンズクラブが恩衆を超えて、そして日本のライオンズを作ろうというわけで東京ライオンズを作られた。
When International Director Manuel J. Gonzalez presented his Filipino flag to me, I hugged it to my bosom, and I could not push back my tears.
でそれによって日本は非常に感激して、フィリピンの人のあったかさに感激した。で我々も今引き続いてライオンズクラブでもフィリピンの人たちに少しでもお役に立てばいいということでアクティビティをたくさんやっております。
Lions Club's International Foundation has assisted Lions with this type of large-scale humanitarian work since it was founded in 1968.
Lions formed the Lions International Foundation.
The people who have benefited will never forget the Lions for their generosity.
As Lions' charitable arm, LCIF helps Lions tackle global problems and fund projects that are too big for individual clubs and districts to do on their own. In honor of LCI's 50th anniversary in 1967, Lions held a peace essay contest. More than 1 million youth from 134 countries wrote about how peace is attainable.
Our peace essay contest is the inspiration we implant in the youth of today that becomes the action of tomorrow.
The U.S. Postal Service issued a commemorative stamp. Former U.S. President Dwight Eisenhower served as the honorary head of the panel that selected one winner from each of Lions' 8 geographic areas. The grand prize award of $25,000 went to A. Russell Waddell of Canada.
There is no easy road to peace. Only through evolution of social, moral, and intellectual values can man achieve true peace.
The Youth Exchange Program began in the 1960s when Lions in Japan and California hosted a summer-long student exchange. And in the 1970s, Lions started international youth camps.
Young people of many languages and cultural backgrounds come together to learn from each other, to respect each other as individuals, and to understand their often diverse heritages.
Each year, young people return home as ambassadors for international cooperation and peace. Peace! In 1988, Lions created the International Peace Poster Contest. Mustafa Tawukji, who grew up in war-torn Beirut, Lebanon, was the first contest winner. Since 1988, millions of children worldwide have participated. The International Grand Prize winner is honored at Lions Day with the United Nations.
That's really helped me to develop a more worldly view.
Since 2011, students who are blind and visually impaired have also had a chance to express their thoughts on peace through the Lions International Essay Contest.
For me, peace feels like freedom from ignorance or conflicts such as war.
Lions and the United Nations continue to work together to improve lives and further peace around the world. Lions support the UN Millennium Development Goals and the Sustainable Development Goals to combat poverty, hunger, disease, environmental crises, and more. As citizens of the world, Lions respond to one need, one community, one life at a time. In the years, decades, and centuries ahead, Lions will continue to unite in friendship and serve as community and world leaders to sow seeds of peace at home and around the world.
Peace.
Peace.
Shanti.